Hi everyone, I'm Corbin and this is Plant Patterns. So as you might have noticed, I'll be doing a Monstera cave video for you guys today. So Monstera deliciosa was probably one of the first plants I can remember as a child because my mother had a fairly big one in her lounge and she later transplanted it out into the garden where it grew up a big tree. So my plant is not quite as big, but I have seen quite beautiful specimens in and around Cape Town where there are really popular garden subjects. Many people confuse monsteras and philodendrons, and they are quite similar, but monsteras and anthuriums both have a geniculum which allows them to rotate their leaves towards light, and philodendrons do not. So monsteras are native to Mexico, where they can often be found growing near water and vining up trees because they are really vining plants at heart. And I've actually also noticed that if you don't train your plant from a young age, you can end up with a plant like growing out into different directions. So monsteras are really easy care houseplants and perfect for the beginner. However, I have noticed that if you want to have success with your monstera, it needs to have bright indirect light, because what I've often noticed is that outdoor specimens often have these beautiful big leaves with deep penetrations, whereas indoor plants like kept in more medium light tend to not be as big and not be as penetrated. So if you want to grow a monster monstera, give it bright indirect light without any hard direct sunlight. And I've often seen specimens in conservatories and botanical gardens that also have these big beautiful leaves, but however direct sunlight can fade the leaves and make them unsightly. And direct sunlight through glass can magnify the sun and also burn the leaves, which would result in kind of brown, dry patches. So this is not where these plants grow permanently. This plant grows in the other room in my bedroom. If you guys would have seen it in my April houseplant tour, I'll put a link up on the screen. And this plant I repotted earlier today. This is my monster monstera. I'll also put a link up to that video for you guys. So I pot my monstera about once a week, as it is in a clay pot, so it does kind of need more watering than if it was in a plastic pot. If your plant is in bright light, it will obviously photosynthesize more than if your plant is more medium light, and therefore use more of the water that's in the growing media. So those are just a few things to consider when watering your monsteras. As I've often said before, not having as much water is always better than having too much water. So I fertilize my plants about once a month with a universal houseplant fertilizer. In my opinion, monsteras are not really fussy about the ratio of fertilizer or the type of fertilizer, but I'm absolutely sure that you can also find good organic alternatives. I pot all my plants in a well-draining mix of coco coir, perlite, a well-draining potting mix, orchid bark with a dash of sphagnum moss. And this mix simulates what this plant would grow in the wild. So I haven't really noticed any pests on my plants, but the common culprits would be mealybugs, scale and spider mites. I like to use alcohol or hydrogen peroxide spray as kind of like a spot treatment whenever I see any pests. And then have further applications of neem oil or any other systemic fertilizer to get the problem under control. It's always better just to deal with the infestation as quickly as possible. So the secret to growing a monster monstera is really having a combination of things. So you want to have your plant in bright light, you want to keep your plant evenly moist, and you want to apply fertilizer at regular intervals. So a combination of all three of those will help you to grow a monstera. So monsteras are really easy to propagate if you have a cutting that has nodes or aerial roots. I've rooted monster pieces of monsteras before, like case in point. And over here I have a piece that I've been keeping in water for a while, which has really made lots of roots. So I'm actually going to plant this plant up now, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So over here I have my big container of soil, and you guys can see here, this is really what I was talking about when I said it's nice and fluffy and airy and just makes you feel like you're on the forest floor in Costa Rica having a cocktail. I do sometimes make jokes. Okay, so the pot I'm going to use is a pot which I think or hope will accommodate these roots and seems to be quite fine. You don't want to overpot your cuttings because that can lead to root rot because of the excess moisture in the soil. And I'm gonna have to just sit down because my knees. Well, now I really do feel like I'm in the jungle. Okay, so I'm going to start off with having a little bit of the mix in the bottom of my pot. Then take off my cutting from this vase. Okay, now this almost looks like a little worm or snake. Yeah, I think this is fine. Wait, let me just make a bit of a hole in the middle. There, I think this is absolutely fine. That piece of root can just be kind of tilted down into the soil. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in around my plant. So this plant has actually been in water for quite some time, as you can see by the roots. So you can really keep your plant in water for as long as you like. Just make sure to change out the water about once a week, because I have had cuttings that had rotted away because they were kept in stagnant water. So this plant might look small, but it can quickly grow into monster if kept in bright light. The pot I've chosen is a pot that will accommodate all the roots without being too big and having too much growing media in the pot, which can cause root rot. And I'm also going to be careful not to over water this plant before the roots have had a chance to grow into the growing media. So I'm just going to give this a small amount of water to help with the shock of being transplanted. So, and I think we are done. So now I have another monstera to add to my collection, or perhaps give as a gift to someone. This is just what I love about propagating plants. It's like getting free plants, and who would not like to have free plants? So common monstera problems could be that your plant has yellow leaves. This could be caused by a combination of overwatering and too little light. Curling leaves could be a sign of underwatering, so you could look at watering your plant more frequently to help combat that problem. If you find that your monstera is not really growing well, it could be that your plant is not getting enough light. To grow a really big monstera, you need to have a combination of bright light, fertilizer, and regular watering. But be careful not to expose your plant to harsh direct sun. And some people also don't like the aerial roots that monsteras produce. I don't mind, and I would just leave them to grow, but you can also take them and redirect them into the soil. If you notice brown patches on your leaves with a yellow circle, it could be that your plant is having some fungus issues because perhaps it was kept too wet and humid for too long without proper air circulation. To combat this problem, you might want to use a systemic fungicide applied like a few times. It's best to remove the affected leaves and keep your plant dry for a bit. If the problem persists, you can apply a systemic fungicide. If you have any Monstera questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.